Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to do a comparison of all the new blushes that I have collected over the last year. This is going to be part 2 of the video I already have on my channel where I compared a bunch of different blushes already. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely do check that first and then come back to this video. In this video I'm going to compare a lot of new blushes, so let's get started. I think the order that I'm going to stick to for this video is that I'm going to start with talking about blushes which are more on the expensive side, and then we'll gradually proceed towards more inexpensive and affordable blushes, because that way I can really compare some affordable blushes, and it's going to be easier for you to understand which is the best affordable blush currently in the market that you can go for. So the first blush that I want to talk about is from Kaja Beauty. Now this is a Korean brand that launched on Purplle I think almost a year ago, and I have their stamp blush. I'm not sure what this is called, but basically it's this blush where you twist it, you have this heart stamp, and then you have a cushiony blush here at the bottom. And the shade that I have is 02 Saucy. Now this is a very subtle everyday sort of a blush. The first layer goes on very sheer, especially the shade that I have, which is 02 Saucy. It's this let me swatch. So once you touch it, you can see even on your fingers not a lot of it comes out. So it's a very sheer blush. Honestly, the first layer does nothing on your skin, and you have to build this up if you really want to see some pigment, which honestly is not too bad, especially considering the packaging, because it's very satisfying to just stamp the blush on and really build it up to see the pigmentation, which I absolutely love about this. Anyway, so the way I like to use this blush is on my no makeup days, because if you have makeup on, this is probably not gonna give you the effect that you want. You probably want your blush to really stand out. But on no makeup days, when you have concealer or even just basically skincare on, you want something which looks very natural, and this just gives you that. So I want to rate this 3.5 out of 5 because it's not very pigmented. You have to at least build it up 2 times or at least thrice to see the pigment, so deducting 0.5 there. But I think I'll rate this 4 because of the packaging. I mean, it's so satisfying to use this blush. If you're a content creator, if you're a beauty creator, and you want to make those aesthetic videos, you need this gives you just that, because you can literally do those stamping videos, and it's so satisfying. And honestly, just yesterday I'd used it with my skincare and just sunscreen on, and it looked beautiful. Now that we are talking about sunscreen, I have with me here the Derma Co's 1% hyaluronic sunscreen aqua gel. So this sunscreen has SPF 50 and PA4+. This also now comes in an 80-gram value pack, which lasts longer. So you can grab the bigger pack and you don't have to worry about the sunscreen finishing off early. Now this sunscreen has a very nice feathery light formulation which does not make your skin greasy. It's also very lightweight, it's fragrance free, and it dissolves like water. And believe me, it does dissolve like water. It's the most satisfying feeling ever. Now the effective combination of hyaluronic acid and vitamin E in this helps you fight the sun damage while also reducing fine lines, wrinkles, and it makes your skin so soft like butter. Now, this sunscreen is a holy grail for people who are tired of sunscreen that leave a white cast and makes their skin greasy post usage. And this is also rated 4.9 out of 5 by Derma Co's consumers. For the usage, you can take adequate amount and apply it on your face, neck, and other exposed areas of the skin, and of course you can use this every day. I also want to quickly show you this really cool product from them. This is their mattifying 100% mineral powder sunscreen. This again has SPF 50 and PA4+. Now this product comes really handy when you want to reapply your sunscreen over your makeup, because this is not going to move your makeup, it's not going to budge your makeup. This keeps your skin guarded against UVA and UVB rays while also absorbing excess oil, like you can see in the video. This sunscreen sets makeup while also providing sun protection, which I think is absolutely amazing. And it also gives a very neutral tint that matches most Indian skin tones. For the packaging, it comes with soft brush that makes application super easy while being gentle on the skin. So of course, it is not going to disturb your makeup. And one bottle is going to give you almost 2,500 plus strokes, which is value for money in my opinion. Now for the usage, you want to open and slide down the neckband, tilt the brush and tap until the powder runs through the bristles, and you can apply generously to the entire face and neck using circular motions, of course including on makeup, before stepping out. You can reapply every 2 hours for continuous protection or more frequently as needed for oil absorption. Okay, now every time you buy from Derma Co, they will link your order to a child that they help educate along with Bhumi. They have pledged to help 10,000 plus students across the year, and all the products from the Derma Co are fragrance free. You can use my code Akriti 2023 for 20% off on dermaco.com. This code is only applicable on their own website, but their products are also available on Nykaa, Flipkart and Amazon. I'm gonna have links to all of these in the description box below. Do check it out. And of course, thanks to Derma Co for partnering with me on this portion of the video. Let's move on to a unique shade of blush that I have in my collection. And every time I wear this, I always get questions asked on what is the shade, what is the brand and everything. I also wore this on for my mehendi makeup. I did my own mehendi makeup, by the way, and yeah, I have the video on shorts, on reels, everywhere, and you guys were asking me what is that shade. So here it is. It's from Makeup Revolution. This is their liquid blush. I think, is it? Okay, this is called Blush Bomb, by the way, and this is in the shade Rose Lust. Now, this collection, or like this set of blushes from Makeup Revolution, is being compared to Rare Beauty's liquid blush. I don't think pigmentation wise though, I have talked about this before, because this again is something that you have to build up. Although the first layer is not bad, let me give you like a quick swatch. So here is the first layer. You know, you can see so much better than the Kaja Beauty blush, and the first layer gives you like a very nice soft veil of color. But I do like to build this up because this is something that I don't really wear on no makeup days. It's like this mauve color, and I think this washes me out ever so slightly. If I wear it on my no makeup days, I have to have like a bold eye makeup going on, and I think that's when this looks the most flattering on the skin also. So you can see this is the second layer on, and it looks stunning. It's such a unique shade. Again, it's a very nice pinky mauve color. It looks very beautiful when you have like smoky eye or any sort of like heavy eye makeup going on. This is stunning, and I get it because you guys keep asking me what shade it is and everything. So here it is for you guys. I think I would rate this a solid 4. It's very nice, it's very long lasting. Of course, it's going to be different on different skin tones. I think this would look lovely on fairer skin tones, you know. I think this is going to just pop out. Maybe on deeper skin tones, this might not show up as much. But I think then we have this e.l.f. putty blush, and let me tell you, I was so excited when this launched on Nykaa, because the whole putty range from e.l.f. has been such a phenomenon, honestly. And I have this in the shade Caribbean is the shade, and it's very sad that I only got to choose this shade, because by the time I could get my hands on, every other shade in this range was sold out. I think they have relaunched, or like now other shades are available, but this is the only shade that I could get. And honestly, I was a little let down because, oh my god, it's melting in the heat. I think it was very dry. Like I was just about to say that this is a dry blush, but at the moment I think it's melting. Not sure why it has this oily film on top, but okay, let me talk about it. So when I received this, I thought this is going to have like a very different texture, right? Because it's called putty blush. Everybody was just hyping it up so much, and it's not really any different in texture. Now when you first put your fingers in it, currently the texture has completely changed, I'll say that, because now it's very oily. But the first time I received it, I dipped my finger in it and it felt very dry. Like it almost felt like I'm touching a solidified powder, if that makes sense. So I was a little disappointed because I don't know why I was expecting a different texture altogether. Anyways, texture aside, this turns into, so when you start to blend this out, this turns into a proper powder finish. So here I have the blush, right, and you can see there's no shine, there's no nothing. Like it's set and it looks like a powder in person. I understand why people love it, because as you can see, once it sets, it does not move. Like it's just there, it's there, and it's very long lasting for sure. And also the shade honestly is not the most versatile. Like I have to be so careful with the amount that I use, because if I go overboard, I mean, look, it almost looks red on the skin. So you can understand how careful I have to be when applying this. And also when I sort of use my fingers to apply this, it just sets immediately, so you have to be very careful in blending it out immediately. I think the best way to use this blush is to dip your slightly fluffy brush into it and then quickly immediately start to circle it into the skin, and that's when it looks the most natural, at least application wise. So for me it's a 3-star. I don't reach out for this. The shade is not very user friendly, I would say. So yeah, I don't love it. Then we have this new blush from Jude Cosmetics. Now I really like this. Now this also almost sets into this powder finish, but it's not as powdery as this one, and it's a very versatile shade. Look at this shade. This again is one of the shades that I use on my no makeup days. So I'll just have like my sunscreen, and generally like sunscreen gives you like a very nice glow. All the sunscreens that I'm currently using, it gives a very nice glow and everything. And then when I put this on and I blend, okay, let me give you a better cleaner swatch. Okay, so let's say, so as you can see, it's a very subtle shade, and this also needs a little bit of building up, so it's perfect for your no makeup days, because there's no way you are going to go overboard with this. And it also gives you a powdery finish, but not as the elf one, which is something that I like. Also I think this would be perfect for oily skin people, because you know, it's still very much a cream blush, but it does sort of settle down to a powdery finish. Again, not as powdery as this. I think I've said that thrice at this point. So I would again rate this 4, because I keep this in my washroom cabinet, and along with my sunscreen, like my skincare, sunscreen, and then this blush. Because on the days when I'm like, okay, I look really dull, I need to do some pick me up sort of a situation, this blush comes in handy. I just apply a little bit and it gives a very nice flush of color. Then we have the very famous K Beauty blushes. Now I think they're called cream blushes, but this is like a, now this is a very unique texture for me, because this is not really liquid, it's not really cream, of course, it's like somewhere in between. It's like a moussey liquid, and the only reason why I don't use it as much is because of the shade. I think this is not a versatile shade, because I have to, if I use it too much, it can slightly look childish in a way, and it also washes me out. So I have to like pair it up with like something really warm, like a nice warm bronzer, then it looks really stunning. So you can see this is the shade, and I think if I had a different shade, maybe like a pink shade or a nude shade, I think I would have gotten much more use out of this. But this shade, by the way, did I tell you the shade? This is the shade Flirty Nude. So this is, I don't know, I think it's a cool toned peachy nudie shade, more peach honestly, and does not look very flattering on my skin tone sometimes. So shade wise not my favorite, but the formula is in fact really good. It's very long lasting. Last year I had done like a sit down video where I applied this, and I did like the whole testing out of how long this lasts, and this in fact lasted throughout the day, which is amazing. So I think many people already have this. I'm not going to talk about this a lot, but it's a nice blush. Formulation is good, looks very nice and natural. It does not give you like a dewy finish, or does not look like a matte powdery finish either. It's like somewhere in between, and very long lasting, although not my favorite because of the shade. I would give this again 4. I'm deducting 1 point because I've not used it as much because of the shade. So yeah, now I have all the affordable blushes to talk about. So this portion of the video is going to tell you which is the best affordable blush that you can currently go for, and of course I'm also going to compare it with some high-end blushes wherever I feel the need to. So let's get started. Let's first talk about these Blue Heaven Pop and Glow blushes. Blue Heaven also launched their stick blushes that I gave away to my sister and my mum, but this is what I have currently, and I also did not use it as much, so I don't really know how that works. But this is something that like really stood out to me packaging wise. This was so cute at the time, even now it is, but I'm just saying like super cute. Now my only problem with this is it does not last. It does not last on me at all. I've tried it on multiple different occasions with multiple different base and complexion products, thinking that maybe this is why it did not last, and just giving it the benefit of the doubt. But this just does not last on me. I think the maximum it lasts is for like 2 hours, and I'm talking like the most brightest shade that I have. So this is the shade Coral Flash, and look how bright that is, right? Okay, look how bright that is. Even this shade can only last 2 to 2.5 hours, that's it. And then I have this shade, which is Subtle Nude. Now this is a very beautiful nude shade, I'll give it that. Oops. Okay, another thing, packaging sucks. Even though it's very cute, sometimes it just squirts out the product like that, and then I'm just left with, what am I gonna do with this? Look how stunning is this nude, right? Super pretty, but does not last. And again, packaging, it's a mess. Packaging is a mess. So I would rate this 3.5 because the packaging is cute, shades are really pretty. I mean, look at this shade, like this coral, how stunning is the shade, but does not last. So for me, I've been like, again, using this for my everyday sort of pick me up kind of blush. We now have this blush from Purplle. This is the Cheek Kiss Cream to Powder blush stick, and I have this in the shade Maroon Diva 3, I guess. And this is how it looks like. Let me give you a swatch here. So it goes on like a very nice shade is stunning, by the way. It's a very unique, I want to say. Yeah, I don't think I have a shade like quite like this in my collection. So it is in fact like a maroon blush, and once you blend it out, this is the shade that you end up with, which again is very pretty, and it does quite look like a powder finish, although not dry powder, if that makes sense. Like, this is the kind of powder finish that I can in fact manage on my skin, as opposed to the e.l.f. one, because this still has like this nice sheen, and it almost sets again as a powder, as you can see. So this is also quite a nice blush, although the lasting power is not the best. Like, it's not as bad as the Blue Heaven one. Of course, it's going to at least last for 4 or 5 hours, but it's not going to give you like 8 to 9 hours of lasting power at all, which is something that I've noticed. But again, I think I would rate this 4 because shade is really pretty, and it's almost similar to the e.l.f. blush, but I think this is something that dry skin people are going to love more than the e.l.f. one. So we now have the Cuffs and Lashes blush. This is their Let's Go Tinting Lips, Cheeks and Eyes blush, and my favorite 2 shades in this collection is going to be Kulhad and Destiny. I think very beautiful shades. Now, I wish the packaging was prettier for this. Honestly, at this point, I do think that the packaging could have been better. I know that they have launched their liquid blushes. I haven't tried that yet, which comes in that sleek tall packaging. Look at the shade Kulhad here. I think it's again a very unique shade that I don't quite have in my collection. It's a very beautiful warm brown that I think is going to flatter like fair to medium skin tones a lot. I don't think this is going to show up on deeper skin tones, but it's again a very unique shade in my collection, and I think I would rate this I think again 4 because it's a very natural looking blush. It's not dewy, it's not matte, it's not overly long lasting again, but it's also not going to fade away in few hours. And of course, last but not the least, we have the very newly launched Swiss Beauty Craze line. I saved the best for the last because this literally has become my go-to blush right now. Of course, I think this will fizzle out as I try more blushes in some time, but currently this is at least what is my favorite. I have the shade Strawberry here. I have a full dedicated video where I swatch it, talk about the shade differences, everything. I'm gonna link it up here and also in the description box below. But the shade Strawberry has to be my favorite. So the way I like to use this, I know I've mentioned this before, but I'm gonna mention it again because I think that's why it makes this blush so special to me, is because it's so pigmented that I love using it for underpainting technique. Now, because I have been breaking out quite a lot, I have not been using like foundations at all. I've only been using BB cream. And the way I like to do my makeup is I like to use the underpainting technique where you apply your blush, contour, highlighter, everything before you do your BB cream. And because this is so pigmented, it shines through. Like, you can still see the blush from inside, and it's so beautiful. It's not like how it would look if you apply on top. Of course, it looks stunning either ways, but when you apply it underneath your base, it looks so ethereal and pretty. I love it. I think you should definitely check it out. They have the most beautiful packaging. The shades are quite nice, and this is a very nice creamy formula. Like when you touch your finger in it, it's unlike any cream blush in this sort of packaging. For example, if I have to compare, this is more drier. I'm not saying it's dry, but like if I compare, this is like a dry formula, you know, that transforms into or gives you a very natural finish, whereas this is in fact like a very nice emollient formula. As you can see, it's very emollient, right? And that's why it looks very shiny. And the best part is, products like this which are very emollient, for example even this one, right, the Blue Heaven one, these don't last. I was not expecting this to last so long, but this does. Like this lasted on me for more than 8 hours, and not just like a hint of color left. No, it was fully there, which I was so surprised by. So I think currently, if I have to recommend one affordable blush out of everything that I just talked about, I think this would be it. Also, I think this compares really well with all the high-end blushes that I have. Of course, I'm not comparing the shades, because the blushes that I just talked about, there are some unique ones shade wise, but this really comes close to some of the high-end blushes that I have. So I think I would rate this almost 4.5. I'm deducting 0.5 because I wish they launched some more crazier colors, you know, like a purple, or I don't know, some different colors altogether. That would have been really pretty. Anyways, I know this video is too long. I'm gonna shut up. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, then please give this video a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel. You can click on the bell notification right next to it. You can follow me on Instagram right over here. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.